What is going on, everyone? Welcome to another week of Littleroot Laddering. So, if you checked out the showdown on Sunday, you saw that Carl and I both ended up playing Dusk Mane Necrozma this week. And it just so happened to be that I was piloting Aaron's team and came out on top. So, I think that brings me to like an okay record in the showdowns. I think Carl's still ahead because he went like 6-0 at the beginning, but getting back on track. So this is actually a really sweet team. We have Weakness Policy Necrozma, but we don't have a like traditional way of triggering it ourselves. Like we have Sucker Punch here on Moltres, but you don't have like Assault. You don't have Bulldoze on Entei or Spectrier, which was pretty common back in Series 8. So the fact that we don't have it here means that our opponent probably is going to read into that too much and therefore not anticipate us not having it. Or more importantly, just trigger it themselves. I actually really like Spectrier in this format, and I'm really shocked we haven't seen more of it or Glastrier in this format. Obviously, Glastrier makes sense seeing how Dynamax isn't around anymore, and that's really what made it popular. But Spectrier, with Sash, it just does a lot in this format. So, Shadow Ball to beat up some of the restricteds, Taunt and Will-O-Wisp to deal with others. And I think it lines up pretty well, all things considered. I'm excited to see how that works out in theory and if we can actually do something with it. Notably here, Necrozma, we do have Photon Geyser. That's really important because until we get intimidated, that is a physical attack. Once we do get intimidated, though, that becomes a special attack and therefore works with our Earth powers and everything else as well. It should be noted, Aaron was telling me today that Burn does not affect the actual stat. It just reduces the damage done, which makes sense because it still works on stuff like Body Press as well. So Photon Geyser is still a physical move if we get burnt. So that could be important. We also have Hitmontop here back again for another run here in Series 10. This time carrying Eject Pack, which is going to force our opponent out anytime we get a stat drop, right? No, other way around. Our stats are going to drop, so we switch out. So if we get like Intimidated or something on the switch in or something, we are forced back out. With Close Combat, it makes a little bit of sense here, so we can like hit and run kind of. I really like coaching here, especially next to like Necrozma and Entei as well. I don't think this is the best coaching team you could have, but I do like it in this current format, especially just having like this defense boost to go on Moltres as well, just to make it a little extra bulky. Assault Vest Moltres here is pretty sweet. This is another way of like living hits and being able to dish out a ton of damage in return. And we have Safety Goggles Entei here to deal with things like Volcarona and all the annoying powder-based Pokemon in this current format, with Among Us popping back up in popularity again. So I'm excited to see how well this plays out. And seeing if we can actually pull off a couple wins this week, see if we can actually do something. So let's get to it. Let's get to game number 1 here, and we will see you in game. Fairly quick and easy today. Nothing too terrible waiting here. So let's see what we got. We have Yveltal. We have Yveltal with like beat up things. We have Lucario and Virizion on their side. I think it's the only thing on their side that gets beat up. Lucario doesn't, right? It can't beat up Virizion? Or can it? Come on, work with me here. So this is going to be really unfortunate because we don't have any kind of redirection, so we're going to get God, I think. I don't see anything here off at first glance, but we need to get paired up here. Spectre looks pretty great just so we can burn whatever they have going on. I also like Hitmontop on the lead. Get that Intimidate off. Necrozma doesn't look great with them having Yveltal, so I think I want Eliki. And probably Eliki? Entei? Yeah, I like Entei. We'll leave Moltres at home. Doesn't line up particularly well against a couple other things. Like, obviously, we're not really firing off, like, Fire Your Ass against them, seeing how they have potentially 2 justified Mons. Okay, looking here at the list that has beat up. I don't see anything on their team that has access to it. So they're going to intimidate us, that's fine. We're going to get our intimidate off as well, right? That's how this works. Yep, there goes our intimidate. And now we're going to be forced to switch out. Okay. I think this is fine. Because we can go into... I think Eliki. They don't have anything. They have Marowak on their team for a potential Lightning Rod. I think that's fine. So I think the play here is bring out Eliki. Anticipate them reading the switch in. Like, anticipate reading the switch in from Marowak and just clicking Electroweb here. This is going to slow the Veltal down. They're going to withdraw. And this should pick up the KO on the Marowak this turn. Yep, they're going to get their Lightning Rod, but that's fine. We don't really care about that. And we casually do 50% to their Yveltal. So now... Spectre is faster. This should one-shot, I would think. Cool. So now we have an uncontested Eliki versus their Yveltal, and we have a +1 Spectre. And they're going to Dark Pulse. That's going to put us to Sash. I wonder if they have Sucker Punch. I think I'm going to read into them having Sucker Punch here and protect. They're going to bring back Outlanders. I could switch out and go into Hitmontop to intimidate them, but I think protecting here is just fine. No, the real play is Will-O-Wisp their Landorus and Volt switch off of Yveltal and go into Hitmontop that way. Not where I anticipated that Sucker Punch going, actually. We pick up the Yveltal, we're going to go into Hitmontop and intimidate them, put them to -1, and now they're not going to be able to switch this Landorus out. Okay. Feeling pretty okay here. The fact that we did so much with Eliki into their Yveltal is just astronomical. Like, legitimately, a Thunderbolt might have been able to pick up the KO on it. And they're actually faster. Did not anticipate them being faster. They're not Scarf. Because if they were Scarf, they would have moved before Eliki, I would think. I can go into Entei here. They might be Scarf. I don't think Landers actually is able to outspeed Eliki with Scarf. They get to 157. That is nowhere near enough. Okay, so yeah, they're Scarf. We can. I think targeting down the Landorus this turn is correct because they can't fake out. I mean, they can't protect it. No protect from the Lucario either. And Sacred Fire is not going to pick up the KO. We're not going to get the burn either. I wonder how much Extreme Speed does. I wonder how much Helping Hand Extreme Speed does. Let's do that. This might pick up a KO. Who knows? I can see them being Sash Lucario. Okay, we pick up the Landorus. That's really good. They're going to Vacuum Wave into my Entei. That's not going to do anything. Alright, so now we can Sacred Fire. We can Close Combat. And, I mean, worst case scenario, we still have Eliki in the back too. So this game should be over. I wonder if they're Choice Band Lucario. Not with Vacuum Wave, they wouldn't be. Could be Choice Specs then. But I mean that would be like the only reasoning I could see them locking into like. No, they're not, because they would have had to. Yeah, they're Sash. That makes the most sense. And we get the burn, so even if they like KO us here, it doesn't matter. They are a special Lucario though. But we're gonna win game number 1 today, so that's cool. Good job, Entei. You did good. Eliki did really good too. And obviously reading our opponent, making that switch just to pick up the Marowak there on turn 1 is just huge for us as well. Had they Sucker Punched into the Spectre on 1, we could have had an interesting game, but I think it's fine. Like, even if they Sucker Punch us, we still live because we have Sash, so I also think they expected Sucker Punch to do way more into my Eliki since I revealed my Sash. Ooh, hard Trick Room, but they have Comfey. Comfey, Grimmsnarl, Dusclops, Gastrodon. They got a bunch of really cool Mons. Yeah, I actually really like their team. I think Hitmontop looks really appealing since they have Calyrex and Stakataka. Entei looks pretty appealing. Just Spectre actually looks insane. Spectre trying to get a taunt on 1. Like, Hitmontop Spectre, again, as a lead, just looks absurd because we can fake out one Trick Room user and taunt the other, and then the following turn, taunt the other one. Actually, they don't have... I think preserving Hitmontop is actually better for us. Having it in the back. And I think Dusk Mane also looks really appealing here. Do I want Hitmontop up front? Entei means I can roar them out, but I don't think that's enough. I think I would rather preserve Entei. I think this is fine. I think you can make an argument either way. Dusclops, Grimmsnarl. So we're gonna get this Intimidate off. Doesn't really mean much. Yep, they're gonna see my stuff. And we're going to taunt the Dusclops. And we will fake out the Grimmsnarl. Pretty easy lead here for us. We are, in fact, faster than the Grimmsnarl, so we get our fake out off. Got him! So now I think I want to... I got Will-O-Wisp into the Grimmsnarl, and I'm actually going to switch out into... And we can go into Entei. This gives us a potential, like, to roar them if they bring in a different Trick Room Mon. And preserving Hitmontop is really good, because we know they're going to have Cali Ice in the back. Alright, we get the burn. That's good. I wonder if this is Spirit Break into my Entei. No, it's going to be in the Spectre, but they're burnt now, so it's not going to do a lot. And Nightshade into my Entei. Okay. I'm fine with that. I'm pretty okay with that turn. So now I can cycle back into... I can go into Necrozma now. No, I don't want to do that. I do not want to do that. I can Shadow Ball the Dusclops. It's not going to do a lot. And I can Sacred Fire into the Grimmsnarl slot. Alright, light screen up. That's fine. Like, they're going full anti-Spectre right now, and I'm completely okay with that. We don't chunk the Grimmsnarl. They're going to Nightshade in my Entei, put this under half. I mean, they should just attack you with Dusclops, right? So I can... They should just attack. I think attacking is correct. I think just double attacking here is correct. They probably set up Reflect this turn if I was a betting man. This is probably Reflect plus Nightshade. Oh, they have their own taunt. Interesting. So yeah, Trick Room's gonna go up. Interesting. Crit? No crit. I think a crit actually would have taken him out at that range. Good special defense drop, that's kind of whatever though. So if they bring in Kali Ice here, I can pivot into Hitmontop and get the Intimidate on them there. They could Shadow Sneak here to trigger a policy. But I think Spectre is pretty bad now, seeing how we don't have our Focus Sash intact. So yeah, we'll switch into Hitmontop. And I mean, I can Sacred Fire and hope to get a burn. I don't hate that play. I could also roar the Calyrex out just to get it out for a turn. Make them waste a turn of Trick Room. But the problem is they still get to attack. So obviously Calyrex is the bigger threat here. It's what I'm going to be aiming to deal with. Nightshade into Hitmontop does a chunk. Glacial Lance at -1. How much does this do? Not nearly enough. Cool. Do we get the burn? That is the real question. There's their policy. We don't get a burn, though, it doesn't look like. But that's fine, because now we can Fake Out and... Do I want to double into Calyrex? No, the real play is Fake Out and roar the Calyrex. Force it out so they lose their, yeah, they protect here, but because I roar them out, they're going to lose their boosts. Nightshade and Entei is not enough to pick up a KO. Heck yeah, good job, Entei. Oh no. This is fine. I want to preserve Hitmontop quite a bit here. So we'll go into Spectre here. And do I want to preserve Entei? Entei's done a lot, but I think Hitmontop, Necrozma, Spectre is enough here for this end game. So on my way out, I'm going to E-speed the stack attack, I think. They could get a beast boost here depending on what they do. Break a potential Focus Sash if there is one. Nice crit, Entei. You did it, buddy. You did it. Okay, so they are still going to get their beast boost. Just not in the way I anticipated. Come on, go for Pain Split this turn. Dang. Okay, but I mean, I feel okay about this right now. Like, sure, we're down 3-2. But, like, we get to intimidate their stack attacker here. And I get to bring out Necrozma in front of them. They are going to protect stack attacker this turn. So I can target down the Dusclops, who's currently at -1 special attack. Or special defense. It's also the last turn of Trick Room. I'm going to go for a coaching. And a Photon Geyser into the Dusclops. Iron Defense. Interesting. I mean, faking that out would have been fine, but I think this is also fine. So that's annoying, but honestly not the end of the world because we have Earth Power. They might live now, though. Oh yeah, by a mile. Okay. But now Trick Room is over. It's like, sure, they can potentially set up another Trick Room, but I can go Helping Hand plus Earth Power this turn into the Stacka. The fact that they didn't protect this last turn tells me that they probably don't have Protect. That should be a KO'd stack attacker. Yep. Cool. Get it out of here. Trick Room is going to go back up. But I think this is all fine. I have a +1 defense Necrozma here. Granted, I'm going to be locked into like Earth Power the rest of the game, but I think that's fine. They do have Light Screen up, which is awkward. And Hitmontop is going to go down to a Glacial Lance this turn, but I mean, I think this is all fine. I can click Helping Hand. I can Earth Power into... I'm going to go into the Calyrex, but I don't think it's enough to KO this turn. They should just attack with both. So we've seen Trick Room, Will-O-Wisp, Nightshade from Dusclops. We haven't seen anything too absurd. Their last one is Ally Switch, so we might pick up the Dusclops this turn then. But honestly, if that's the play, I'm fine with that. Sure, they pick up my Hitmontop, but if that's their best move against my Necrozma, I feel pretty okay. It could be that they also have high horsepower, which is actually pretty common on it. Okay, we pick up the Dusclops. Do I think I can take a +1? I'm at +1. They're currently at +1. Light Screen is now over. Three turns of Trick Room. There's no way I'm stalling this out. I could Protect, Moonlight Protect, and stall it out that way. Let's do it. Let's try it. Worst case scenario, we delay this game a little bit. I actually think this is incorrect because we're taking incidental damage from Burn. They have Stomping Tantrum, not high horsepower. We might be able to take a Stomping Tantrum. Moonlight up. Necrozma, you're insane. Thank you for my policy. I go back to full health. Necrozma, you're awesome, my dude. I protect to stall the last turn of Trick Room out. And then Earth Power picks up the KO on them next turn. This is awesome. This game was really good. Man, a +1 Calyrex did like nothing to my Necrozma. This Necrozma is a bulky boy. Alright, Trick Room is now over. And now, Earth Power should KO. There it is. Oh! Don't crit? Okay, cool. Now Earth Power will take them out. I actually expected a +2 Earth Power to do more to them. But, I mean, Calyrex is absurdly bulky, so I'm not actually surprised by that. GG, opponent. Man, them ally switching actually helped us. Because, like, then we take out the Dusclops, and, like, we're not just taking incidental 50 damage a turn as well. So, them actually ally switching saved us that game. And I did not play around it. I definitely played right into it. So, yeah, they're definitely more physically defensive, so. Light Clay. Taunt, yep. Didn't see Reflect, but I'm not surprised they have it. They actually don't have Trick Room on their Calyrex. So is they actually were Sash Stack Attacka. Getting that extreme speed off into this actually could have saved us. That's absurd. Wide lens with 300% accurate moves. Very interesting opponent. Life Orb Comfey. What? Like, the rest of the team is, like, fairly understandable, but Wide Lens and Life Orb on these two just make no sense with the moves that they have. Very, very weird. The rest of the team I really like, but there are some things in that one I do not care about. Okay, let's get one more. Let's get one more today. Kanga? Mama Kanga coming to play. I mean, I guess they also have, like, Venu Dawn, but, you know, Kanga's the important part here. Serena Ensign Gastrodon. I think I like Hitmontop quite a bit. The fact that we don't have, like, any form of speed control is pretty bad for us in the face of Venusaur. Like, obviously we have Eliki, but Venusaur outspeeds that. I actually think Safety Goggles Ensign is really good here. I like Ensign. I mean, not Ensign. Entei. Hitmontop Entei looks pretty appealing up front. I don't know how to feel about Necrozma here, seeing how they have 3 mons that hit it super effectively. I think I really like Moltres here. I think I'm leaning towards Necrozma. I could be talked into it. We also, like, Eliki doesn't do a lot, seeing how they have double ground type. So I think I like Necrozma. I think it does more than. No, I'm bringing Spectre here. I want to burn their Groudon. I want to make them sad for playing Groudon. So we can burn the Groudon, we can burn the Kanga. Kanga is probably scrappy, so that means we need to watch out for it. But this lead is going to incentivize them to want to switch into Serena. Like, I could see Groudon switching into Serena here. So we get this Intimidate off into both Mons. It's pretty good for us. And I'm going to Coaching my Entei. We'll go for a Sacred Fire into Venu. Got him! Get deleted. Safety goggles is busted, guys. Oh no, they're faster. What is this game? So our opponent did nothing on turn 1. I feel so bad for our opponent right now. So I'm going to Helping Hand. And I'm going to Sacred Fire into the Groudon now. They go for Fake Out. I don't really care. One, I'm immune. Just deleted Groudon. This is great. Oh. I said I wanted to burn Groudon. I didn't mean that badly. Holy cow, this game has been interesting. I mean, I could Helping Hand. I could also Close Combat into Kanga. I'm gonna double the Kanga. I feel like this game is over. Our opponent set up the Sun Force, and Entei then proceeded to pick up 3 KOs. Oh yeah, and because of the stat drop, I actually get to switch hit on top out here. That's cool. We'll go into Moltres, I guess. It doesn't really matter. They could, like, Earth Power into my Entei. But we take that. Aw. Come on, Entei. You tried. A for effort, buddy. Are you Life Orb? You're not. So I can bring out Hitmontop. Go for the Fake Out. And Fiery Wrath them. I could also Coaching, but that actually doesn't do anything for us here. No Protect. Okay. Are you Citrus? You're not Citrus. Are you Wiki? You're not Berry. What are you? What are you, opponent? I'm curious what your item is. Okay, that was the breaking point. That was the point of no return. Not me one-shotting... Not me one-shotting your Venusaur and you double missing Precipice Weights. No, that was the breaking point. I would love to look at our opponent's team. There were even Widelands on the Venu, so they could actually, like, hit more Sleep Powders. Silk Scarf, not really surprised by that. Yeah, Fake Out Last Resort, not actually surprised by this at all. Heat Rock Groudon. The stuff we run into, guys. Don't play Fire Punch, play Heat Crash. AV Serena, not really surprised by anything there. I would, wherever your extra point is, I would put into Special Defense. Unless it is in Special Defense, and then I'd probably put into Speed instead. Goggles Ensign, nothing really exciting there. Expert Belt, that makes sense. Yeah, not overly exciting. No Protect. They have 1 Protect on their entire team. That's absurd to me. But more importantly, guys, I want to update my rank. Come on, give it to me. Give me that Ultra Ball. What? I'm on a winning streak. I disagree. But as always, everyone, pick this team up while it's available. I know, I believe Aaron still has it up, and if not, I'm sure I could persuade him to. So thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll be back later in this week with some more fantastic games. So have a good one, everyone. Peace.